quick attempt between leaf blowers. Here's my new rig. So low roof Ram 1500. I went low roof. It's about 5'5" of vertical clearance in the cargo area. I'm 5'11", so I just gotta lean my head to the side or forward slightly. I think it's a reasonable trade-off for the lower profile. And even though I think the fuel efficiency is essentially the same for both sizes, I just, to endure to be more in a stealth position when I'm working, and of course the thing's gonna be sitting in my driveway, as it won't fit in the garage. Oh, and the price. It's about, I bought this used, but it's about $6,000 less than the high roof. And I went to 4 dealerships, multiple visits, plus searching online, and it's difficult to find a no window version, and I was successful. And then this one came with the factory partition, which I'm not going to keep it in its, I'm going to maintain a partition, but I don't think I'm going to keep that one where it's at because it's completely vertical, unlike my previous van, which has the Ranger partition that's raked to allow you to recline the seat. So it's a very upright position in the driver's seat, minimal adjustability, and that's not going to work for me when I'm driving 3+ hours. And then it's got the plywood deck. And I've got my first shoot tomorrow with the new truck. And I'll make a separate video about getting my gear loaded in here. I'm going to wait on a ramp and drilling holes. I want to work a few projects, kind of sort out the new layout. Quick cab tour. These are just the base level seats, not the better seat that has multiple adjustment points and lumbar control. So I got to figure that out. At a minimum, I'm going to get like one of those little lumbar pillows for my lower back. And the seats are on the high side. There's this headliner. And I've already reaching for my hat on the dash. I bumped my head on the headliner. So I got to get used to that being so close to my face. And you can see here, I've got that seat in the position for me at 5'11". You can see how little recline you have on the seat. Although I will say this is insulated and it's got some sound attenuation. It's very quiet in the cab, and the AC is 85 degrees the last couple days. AC is at the lowest fan position, and I'm still cold. So AC's got plenty of power to deal with having the partition removed. Moving up to a bigger van is a mixed decision for me. I love the little Transit because I can park it in my garage. It's a little compact car. It's incredibly fuel efficient. I can use it as a daily driver and also to commute to and from shoots. And I can have my tools and equipment safely in the back and not have to worry about or minimize my risk in a collision. But at the same time, I spend so much time behind the wheel just here locally in Southern California. For me to get from my home in Orange County up to a shoot in the west side of Los Angeles County, it can be 3 hours in normal morning traffic and another 3 coming home. So 6 hours behind the wheel. And I've often thought about how great it would be to have a vehicle that has a place where I can sleep, even if it's just a power nap. You know, I drive up at 3 in the morning, power nap for a couple hours, get to work, or go up the night before. And then now in the last few years where I've gravitated back towards airline travel, the idea that if it's a 12-hour drive, 18-hour drive, wouldn't it be great if I could just drive myself there instead of the airline packing and thinking about not having redundant gear because I'm limited to a certain amount of cases at 50 pounds apiece. It would just be great to have my same rig whether or not I'm local or travel. So here is the first iteration. This is just traditional camper van rig, and I've got a low roof, so it's approximately right here. I think that's actually a little low. I didn't measure it, I eyeballed it. But really basic, the porta head for, just emergency midnight use. And then, I don't know, the shower might be a dream, but just a little shower pan with a propane heater. Thinking water tank under the bed, house batteries under the bed. So queen size bed, Dometic style refrigerator that's like a cooler, then just a very small sink and a little countertop. I don't think I'd really be doing any cooking on board, maybe like a camping stove, the ability to boil water, make coffee, and heat up a basic meal. But for the most part, it's just a place to get a good night's sleep when in transit. So then the problem with this design is I'm very restricted on gear storage. I got a little bit of room on the aft end under the bed. And then I was thinking my tool chest would be on the side door forward. The motivation behind this layout is that it would be dual use. I can use it as a camping trip with my wife, and I can put in a third seat for my son to come along, and I even got some room for the dog. But at the expense of, one, safety, if I've got my tools in the back, and two, it's just not an efficient layout for production. Okay, so this is design version number 2, single sleeper. I got some of these ideas from the transportation industry, what's known as expediting, which are drivers that just pick up 1 or 2 pallets, short notice, get it there right now. This would afford me a dedicated cargo area where I can have a ramp and carts rolling in, float the factory partition back to a midpoint just behind the rear sliding door. This is based on measurements of that van. It looks like I can modify the framing of the van to accommodate that partition at 4 feet 8 inches back. It's actually more living space than I need. I'd rather have a full 6 feet of depth in the cargo area. But if I want to utilize that existing crash bulkhead, I think that's where it's going to have to land. Interestingly enough, my transit connect is 6 feet of depth and about 5 feet of width. And this van in this configuration gets me, it's about 5 feet of width between the wheel humps and 4 foot 8 of depth. Or like I said, if I built a new partition, made some additional modifications, I could get a full 6 feet in the cargo area. Although I don't know as I necessarily need it. As my customer base and work type has evolved, I just need space to haul an interview light kit, a basic audio kit, and a couple of camera packages. And I'm confident I can do that in a space that's approximately 5 by 5 by 5. And the advantage to having the sleeper area forward, as my buddy Nick pointed out, if I'm on the road and it's too hot to sleep, I can idle the engine and use the cab AC to just cool down the sleeper area. But majority of the time I would just run the roof fan and have a vent in one of the forward windows to have air circulation. The bed, I'm thinking, the bed is hinged. This is a narrow twin, so 30 inches of width, and I've got 6 feet of height in this mock-up. And my thinking is the forward end would be suspended from the ceiling with rope ratchets or rope, and that would be so that if I'm parked on an incline, I can change the angle to self-level. And then to be in cook or transportation mode, the bed can fold up to the partition. Just a little wash basin. I'm thinking of fresh water, like a 7-gallon portable jerry can in the cabinet, and a gray water tank mounted under the frame of the van. Little shower pan. I may not do the shower. I think that might be too ambitious. But and then a folding shelf with like a little portable camping stove. And again, I'm just looking for like the ability to have one skillet to heat up a basic meal and boil water for coffee. Dometic cooler fridge, and then just a little portable toilet, again, just for emergency use. The camping stove and countertop will fold and store when in sleeping position. And then in this remaining area under the bed, possibly a small cabinet for storage of food and clothing. All right, so that's my current plan and progress for working post-pandemic in 2020 and beyond. I work on the road. I want to minimize flying in airplanes. Not so much for this whole illness concern, but just sitting in those airplane seats and hauling gear, it's really hard on my body. I love the idea of just, even on my own time, burning in an extra day to drive to a project, take my time, and play a little bit of tourist in between projects. I'm ready for the next pivot in my career, and the situation in 2020 is just giving me the final motivation to make some big changes. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please, if you have any ideas or have done one of these things specifically for a production type of occupation versus the van life thing, love to see your ideas. That's it for now. Thank you for watching.